Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 and the Fate of Iberia expansion. So just looking at the map here, you can see that the Holy Roman Empire, which sometimes becomes quite mighty and expands far into Eastern Europe or down in here to the Balkans or all the way into France and maybe even far into Southern Italy. But this time, the HRE is kind of falling apart. They've lost Pomerania over here. Well, I guess this is Pomerania over here. This is a different Pomerania. Lost some other territory over here. Lost Bohemia, the Kingdom of Bohemia. And also Northern Italy is no longer in the HRE either. So yeah, they're definitely looking a lot weaker, as is France, of course, which, I don't know if they'll gain back their strength here. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. And I want to talk about a recent development here. Our son Aiden has just had his first children, and they are twins. So we're wondering who would have the first son, first male heir, and it was Aiden, which is unexpected. I was actually thinking it would be his brother instead, Ahmed. But yeah, he still got his daughter Kamala. And then we've got Aiden with his sons Ibrahim and Shamir, which I like both of those names. In high school, I actually had a really good friend named Shamir. He was also in my group home. He lived in a group home with me. Yeah, I like both of these names, so we'll keep those as is. And Shamir gained the Hell trait, while Ibrahim did not. And I guess because he came out of the womb first, he is the eldest, and therefore he's set to inherit everything, while his younger brother, who's probably younger by maybe minutes, maybe seconds, I don't know how long before the second one came out, but he's got the better trait, and unfortunately he is not the main heir. So we'll see what happens there. And as far as our own sons and heirs here, we'll wait and see. And I'm now leaning towards Aiden, which I did notice that there were quite a few comments who wanted to see this character just because of these really interesting traits that are so different from some of our past characters. But both of these would be good heirs, and I've seen support for both of them as well. We'll keep on watching and seeing what happens. Who knows? Maybe one of them will kill each other, or kill the other, I should say. We'll have to see. But yeah, they're both very young. So Ahmed has plenty of time to get a male heir. So we'll wait and see what happens there. Remember, we're waiting until we get 675 prestige to declare war on Castile again to try and take over these two counties here. For this one, we'll just hope that our son here takes that over, since that is rightfully part of his duchy. Now at this point, he might not be able to defeat the King of Castile on his own. Yeah, he does have a lot more troops here. But once he loses these two counties, he might be able to take that. Let's see what happens there. But I prefer not to have to do a war for just one county if we can avoid it. We'll also be going into the next phase, compromise. So we'll see what happens there. So I want to say we don't have anything we have to do here. Yeah, we're just going to let this play. And remember, just getting that 675 prestige, which shouldn't take too long. Might even get it from this event here. Well, this is another one of those poems here. I think this might be... No, it's not the same one, so we can go and read it. Is it the same character? I think it is the same character. Yeah, I believe that's the same character over here who wrote the last poem, if I'm not remembering incorrectly. But the poem is, "Men need not fear as lives depart, though it may tear their grievers apart. 'Tis rare enough for men to admit that their deeds leave those left after split." It's alright, I suppose. I don't really like it as much as I liked the last one, but yeah, I guess we'll just say this one here. We don't have a high chance of succeeding here. Yeah, it's a diplomacy challenge. Yeah, we'll just go with this one. We can always use the piety, guys. The piety's kind of low here, and I mean, it's incredibly low, obviously. There's no recovering from that. Even at our relatively young age, we could live another 20-something years, 30-something years, perhaps, with our really healthy character here, which means that whenever we do become our heir, we probably will be fairly old, 40-something, maybe 50-something, unfortunately, so we won't get to play as that character for very long. Of course, we don't really know when this character will die. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I think we're just gonna go with this one. And I got us a little bit of that piety back. The haunting. More and more wide-eyed servants seek me out. claiming to have seen my father, Sultan Ahmed, walking the halls. He can find no rest, my lord. This is why he stalks the place of his demise. So we can say, stop this nonsense, he is dead and gone, or I will have someone look into this. Okay, so with this one, we're going to get a penalty here, negative popular opinion, but we'll gain some piety. Or we can go with this option, increasing popular opinion, losing 75 gold, but we'll irritate our ulama. Well, there's nothing really in the traits that indicate that we go one way or the other. So I'm just going to go with this one here, because again, we can use the piety. Maybe we will dig ourselves out of the hole here at the end of our lives. I don't know. I highly doubt it. But I've always found ghosts and spirits and stuff like that walking the world to be kind of silly. That's just me personally. I've never seen anything like that, and if I don't see it, I don't believe it. So I know my mom was like super into that kind of stuff. I've known a lot of people super into that. My wife swears she's seen some stuff. I've never seen anything personally, so I don't believe in such things. So this is another, this is another event where our cat has charmed somebody. Our cat is incredibly charming. I think we should hire the cat Snow as our chancellor. Also, our wife got us 150 gold, so that's nice. And we got another martial lifestyle perk. I think we'll probably go with the hard rule. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that one for the dread gain. Siege, progress against revolts, and the faction military power threshold for vassals. Make it a little bit more difficult for vassals to rebel against us. Something that I don't think we've had happen not one time in this campaign. I might be mistaken. I know we had that one character who only rebelled when I attempted to arrest him. So that doesn't really count since I started that. And looks like the Yemeni culture is now embracing the expert artisans. So the head of our culture added that. So we'll take a look at that real quick and show what the bonuses for this are, because this one's a pretty good one. So characters of this culture produce higher quality artifacts when completing an artisan inspiration. Obviously that only helps us if we're hiring somebody who's of our culture. But yeah, if they pop up, then they'll be better. That's the same thing with the weaving inspiration. But then you also get the 10% building construction cost reduction. So that's pretty nice as well. So the buildings will be cheaper for us. But yeah, if we can get anybody with the innovations and that are of our culture, they should produce better items for us. So we had a scheme at court here. I think we were told of this one in the previous episode, that we had a scheme against our wife, and I was guessing that it was one of our wives that was scheming against her, so a wife schemed against another wife. That ended up not being the case. Instead, it was this character who apparently has really tiny arms. Maybe she's just jealous of our wife because she's a giant. She's got big ol' arms. Look at these little tiny arms. This is clearly a graphical issue. It's pretty common one actually where they have that outfit where their outfit doesn't look right. It just looks like a dress covering their whole body here. But I don't know that I've ever seen the tiny arms before. That's interesting. But yeah, that's the character who is scheming against our wife. I'm not entirely sure for what reason. I mean, she is a seductress, so maybe she was interested in us. That's a possibility. But what do we want to do with her? So we say, let the traitor be known to all. We can throw her in jail, or whether true or not, I will not accuse Isabella. I think we're going to throw her in jail. I mean, if she's scheming against our wife, that makes sense. Yeah, we'll do that. And that reminds me that we actually have some prisoners here. We were holding on to him until the king was, and that's the king of Castile, was able to pay for him, which he is now able to do. So let's go to ransom him. We'll ransom him first and then her. Just get us a nice 40 gold right here. Now, as for her, I mean, she's got her own money because she has a title. So let me just take a look at where she's at. So she's over here, and she's Aragonese. I had to put a cut in there because, man, that music was so loud. The Crusade music is always incredibly loud in CK3. I don't know why it's so much more louder than just the regular music. I know they're trying to make it all big and bombastic because it's a Crusade. But I don't know, I feel like your music setting, the options for the music audio should control all music, but it seems not to be the case with the Crusade music. Maybe because it comes with the event, perhaps. But yeah, it's just really, really loud. But this is interesting. This is actually for Galicia. Okay, so I thought, yeah, Galicia is currently under a Christian king over here. Let me just take a look and see who exactly this is against. So it's actually over here. So if we just look at the kingdom of Galicia, so that goes down all the way down to here. And so essentially they're declaring war on him over this one county. That's what this is over. So the crusade is coming to Iberia, something we feared might happen after their success in the Holy Land, which of course resulted in this extremely powerful Jerusalem here. So yeah, definitely a concern that the Christians are now calling crusades here in our area of operation. But luckily we are not the target of that crusade for now. But yeah, we're going to ignore it, I think. But let's go ahead and make sure I sent this. I don't know if I sent that off yet. Yeah, we did. He just hasn't responded yet. So if I take her title, if that's even going to be allowed, let me just take a look and see if this is tyrannical. Alright, so this would be considered tyrannical, and it would reduce the cultural acceptance. I was wondering if you could kind of exploit that, take her title and get it to somebody else, another Aragonese character. You cannot. Alright, so we probably won't take her title. Apparently, we don't have justification for that. And so what we're probably going to do, let me just see here. Yeah, there's nothing to do here, so we're probably just going to ransom her, guys, and get that 50 gold. That's essentially what her penalty is going to be for what she did. Yeah, there's really not much else to do. She's already Muslim. So yeah, I think we're just going to go ahead and ransom her for the 50 gold. And so we're sitting on a nice little chunk of money here. We're already constructing right here. We've also been constructing over here. But as for the rest of our territory, I don't think we've secured all of it just yet. So we're not going to build anywhere else. We'll just hold on to that money. We can always use it. And it'll be helpful to have a nice war chest as well. So we got all this money. Excellent. I suppose we could create an item. What would we want to create, though? And we just take a look here. We are all filled out here, but our items are, you know, not great. But there's really no guarantee that you're going to get a better item than these. If you don't have the inspiration. But yeah, we could create an item, I suppose, and maybe get something better. Oh yes, I did forget that we need to hire an antiquarian, and I think we're going to hire a sister and give her a job here. And frankly, there's nobody really that's good at this here, so we'll hire her, let her do that. But yeah, we could commission an artifact and just see if we get something good. We have so much money, why not? As far as what we might want to create, I guess if you really want to get something that's useful, then it's best to go after like furniture or a book. Yeah, I think we might do some furniture. So it's not going to be a great item, but it'll be something to fill our court out with. So this is going to take her about 14 months, it looks like. Alright, remember, just trying to get that prestige here. Of course, they're all getting that administrative courtier, and I kind of messed up here because our sons did not stay in our court long enough to get that, which would have been nice to kind of boost their stewardship up by just 1 point. Would have been helpful. Alright, so we can dedicate the item to somebody. Could use this opportunity to try and get some piety, but I feel like that's kind of pointless at this point in our lives. And what we really are trying to do is get this prestige. So let's just go ahead and do it. Grab the prestige so that we can declare war on Castile and just get this started, guys. There's a notification here just about a war we can declare. I think it's probably telling us we can now do some new war due to prestige. So yeah, remember, we already know what we're doing here, guys. We're going to conquer these two counties here. Even if it does leave that little spot there, just kind of hoping that our son takes care of it for us. So let's go and declare war on him. I did not check if he had any allies, because I didn't really care. He doesn't have any allies, so it's just the 1,500 troops. So this will be a much easier war than the previous two conflicts against him. Yeah, this shouldn't be too difficult at all, actually. It should be so easy, even if he does hire mercenaries or gets the help of the Templars. It doesn't really matter. We should be able to split our troops up without any issue. But let's go and get them raised up. I suppose we'll raise them up right here, since that's the location that has the best supply. And we're going to raise them all up so that we can try and get this done as quickly as possible. And then we're going to split them up and have some do sieges while the rest go after those 1,500 troops. We could probably do 2 sieges at a time, actually, because, yeah, we outnumber them by so much here, guys. So yeah, let's go and split off a new army. And we're going to be sending the siege engines with these levies. How many men do we want to do here? And we just take a look and see what we can fit. Alright, so we'll probably do the larger army with the siege engines up here. As far as like how many troops we need to defeat them, probably not many. We also don't want to get outnumbered if they do raise up some additional troops. Let's go with maybe like 3,000 or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. That's pretty close. So we're going to get these guys selected, and we're going to want somebody who's good with sieges. It looks like our best 2 commanders, ourselves and the Sheik here, are good at sieges. I think we're going to command our own troops. So let's put him in charge and have him go all the way up over here. And he should be much quicker with both the trait and the siege weapons than this second army, which is why we got him going up there, because I assume that's the larger fort. I might be wrong with that assumption. Looks like they're the same size. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go and get another small army raised up over here and just send them off to start working on that siege. Probably like another 3,000 men is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think that should be good. Again, we don't need a ton of dudes over here to get this done. As far as the commander, I don't know if we have any other siege guys. Looks like that's a no. So we'll just put the next best guy in charge, him. Have him start that siege, and then this army is going to be led by ourselves. And then we're going to go ahead and attack down here. See how we want to do this. I suppose we'll go right here because I assume he's going to move over this way. Don't really want to attack across the river, but it doesn't really matter because we outnumber them by so much. And looks like there's another plot to kill our wife. Could be the same character. Although, I'm not sure if she was forced to cancel that plot, in which case she wouldn't be able to do it for a while. I'm not entirely sure. It could be a whole nother character. Maybe she's just pissing everybody off. I don't know. Maybe nobody likes her for some reason. We could kill our allies in the war. Don't need to do that, obviously. Alright, so he's going over this way. And so we want to let him do that to get locked onto that. So we're just going to keep moving over here. And it looks like he decided to go that way. Alright, so that's a shame. Can we get over there? We cannot get over there in time to attack him. Even with the river penalty, I would have done it. Is he going to go hide out in the mountains? Yeah, he's going to hide out in the mountains. Well, that's fine. We'll still attack him. It says probably win, which is interesting considering how much we outnumber him. I don't think that's the case, so we're just going to go and attack him, guys. Yeah, I don't think that's a probably win. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we'll easily win that. Yeah, you can see it even starts out like that. Oh, no. Oh, Aiden was murdered. So we expected that these two would attempt to kill each other, and they did. That's what I think happened anyway. I think that our second son, Ahmed, killed him. I think the reason why he was more successful with his assassination attempts is because he was, he's a spy guy. He focuses on espionage. I mean, we don't know for sure that's what happened, but I highly suspect that is the case. That he was assassinated by his own brother. But what's interesting here is that because he had those 2 sons, Ahmed does not inherit his brother's territory, which kind of takes away his reason for doing so. Instead, he's got 2 sons, and one, which again is kind of unfortunate because I was kind of wanting to be Shamir out of the 2 of these, just because he has the hell trait. So that means he just inherited the 1 sheikdom. Yeah, so he just has the 1 under his brother, and then his brother holds the rest. So we still are kind of in control of them. We still pick their education, focus, all that kind of stuff. Can't really do anything yet because they don't have the education yet. They're just 1 year old. But yeah, it's kind of a bummer because I think I was kind of leaning towards him once he had the sons. But yeah, he's dead. He didn't make it. Well, we knew that one of them was going to go down. I kind of suspected it to be him. While he's definitely more sadistic and ruthless, his brother's just simply better at intrigue. And so that's really what did him in here. And he was a military guy. Alright, so the choice was kind of made for us. So I think at this point, we only have the 2 other legitimate heirs down here. And so what we'll probably want to do is go ahead and, once we have the prestige, disinherit them. Because we've already given out a lot of territory. I guess we could give one of the... That's right, I said this. We can give this out to one of them, and then we only have to disinherit, one. The other one will be good to go. Alright, so we did convert another province. I know that we got a lot of territory now to convert with all the stuff we just recently conquered from the Christians. So we're going to continue to work on that. So I'm tempted to finish this one little spot over here. Well, you know, actually, since this territory here is under Shamir, let's have him instead convert that territory. We don't have a marshal. Oh, that's because, of course, Aiden was our marshal. That makes sense. So we have two powerful vassals that aren't in a position yet, and one of them's our son here. So he would be best at stewardship, but not better than our current character, our current steward. So I don't really like either of these characters. I think we're just going to put this Idris character, one of our knights, in charge. He's also a former peasant leader, but he's been in our court for a while. So let's go and assign him. And also, it's not really a big deal if we have to fire him, because he's just a knight. Alright, so we're going to be continuing this conflict here. We got 4 months there for that siege, 8 months for this siege, and of course we're doing this battle here, which should get us a little bit of war score as well. Very close to finishing up this phase. Also, we finished up the simple stone quarries. That was actually over here. So let's go and improve that, I think. Yeah, we're going to improve that, guys. Alright, so we'll see how much war score we get here. 15%. That's my guess. 20%. Yeah, say 20. 27. That was a bit off. Oh, wow. I was just making assumptions. I didn't even look at how he died. I just automatically assumed he was not killed by his brother. Well, I feel like I owe him an apology, don't I? Although I still think he was probably plotting against his brother. Maybe he wasn't, though. I don't know. But yeah, that's not even what happened, guys. He was, in fact, killed in the battle. I didn't even bother to check. Maybe that event said so. I don't know. I didn't read the event. I saw that he died and made a very incorrect assumption. So Aiden actually died in battle. Well, that changes things, I suppose. Now, a lot of viewers are always like yelling at me to forbid my sons and heirs from being knights, but I don't like doing that. I mean, maybe if he's your only son and heir, that's all you got, then maybe it makes sense to do so. But I like to let them fight, even if that does risk their lives. And there's a couple different reasons to do so. First of all, and this is probably the most important reason, it's the only way that they're going to get the like Blade Master traits and increase their prowess. That also gives you disease resistance, so it's nice to have. But it's just cool having a very high prowess, and it's the only way to get that. So I like letting them train when they're an heir and not yet the ruler. So it makes sense to do so. So that's one reason I like to let them do it. But yeah, it also kind of makes the inheritance a little bit easier to manage if they happen to die in battle. So yeah, I actually don't have any issues with that, with letting them fight. And also it's more realistic too. So yeah, I don't forbid them in most cases. The losses were actually pretty similar here, and of course we lost our son, so that was big. What I really want to know here is who killed him. So this guy, Felipe de Luna, killed him. Now, we're not the most vengeful character, but at the same time, we love our sons. And we particularly liked Aiden, so I feel like we should probably pin this character, and we need to take him out. I'll try to murder him through this way, but we might be able to just capture him as well. So that's a possibility. But yeah, for right now, let's finish this battle and see if we can't capture him. If he ends up in our dungeons, then we don't have to attempt to assassinate him. So let's try that first. And, maybe we'll be able to... I don't know what we'll do to him, honestly, if we get our hands on our son's killer. Now, he was killed in battle, in a battle between knights, fair and square. But at the same time, I don't think we much care about that. We'd probably still want revenge. Alright, so these guys are actually retreating all the way over to here. We'll attempt to catch them just to get more war score here. Though I think if we win these 2 battles, we'll be pretty close to winning already. And also be getting that ticking war score. He finished his task to increase control in that county. So let's go and get him working somewhere else, though. There's not anywhere that we control directly. So I suppose there's not really need to, although, you know, we'll become Ahmed, so that will eventually be ours. So I suppose that's what we'll work on right now, guys. So let's have him do that, although it looks like he's just about done. 30 days it'll be done. Alright, so control was already pretty high there. We had worked on that area a little while back, so not really all that surprising. Alright, so let's march on over here. And then we'll attempt to attack him right there if we can. And this is an event about unrepresented. A Castilian man from Navarra has come to petition me for increased representation in my government. My lord, we are your loyal subjects, yet we have no say in how our communities are governed. Would it be so much to ask for one of our own people to have a place in your administration? Alright, so that's this character here, I suppose. And does he always stand that way? Was he standing this way before? I feel like he was. He always wants a hug. Maybe that was another one of our sons. But yeah, I think he just stands that way all the time. I'm not entirely sure why. If it's just a bug or if it has something to do with one of his traits or whatever. But we can say very well, you shall rule Navarre from this point forward. Oh, is that because we're going to take the title from him? From our son? We can say I could loosen the reins in exchange for your service. And this will give them increased autonomy. Okay. It only affects control growth, but I guess it does reduce the control. So that's something to consider as well. So which county is that? That's here. So that's our son's county. It'll affect us a little bit, but not by much, honestly. What are we really getting from this? Just this character? Is he any good? He would make a good knight. So I guess there's that. I guess we would just want to do whatever gets us the most wealth here. Yeah, I'm not sure we would do that as a greedy character. You know, we get a good knight. We get a little bit less money, but that might be enough to affect his choice here. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I was going to recruit this guy because I like him. But yeah, I think, you know, he's a brave, generous, diligent character. He's a really good character. We could always bring him to our court through another means, though. Just say not happening. Oh, and he just dies. Oh, he disappears without a trace. Okay, never mind. So he's just there for that event. I don't know if we'll get here in time. Looks like that's a no. We can go over here, which will stop him from moving. Oh, it didn't. Alright, so we'll go to get that battle done and increase the war percentage up by a little bit, guys. Now, it looks like he's going to get away. He's actually going to come and attack this unit here. Alright, so we won that siege. We're at 55%. We've taken a prisoner hostage here. The Duke, actually. Well, that's interesting. So he should be able to pay for himself to get out, though he looks like he's a little bit broke at this point. Alright, so we could have them supporting this battle. Not really necessary. Frankly, after that siege, we should be pretty close to being done here. I think we're just going to go ahead and go to the capital next. That would result in us being involved in the battle, I suppose. Yeah, I guess we'll let him get in there. I'm not entirely sure which one he's moving to, actually. Yeah, he's moving over there. So we have an event here regarding our commissioned item, a wife's touch. I spot my wife, Paimane, chattering excitedly to Nura, listing ideas and suggestions for her sculpture. My sculptor is barely concealing her contempt, clearly annoyed at my spouse's interference. And as you are making a sculpture, she goes on, it may as well match my grandmother's old sculpture. Part of Nura's soul seems to be dying. Okay, so what are we going to say here? We can say, listen well, Nura, my wife must be heard. That'll decrease opinion with her. We don't really care about the opinions, honestly. We just care about the quality of the artifact, so this will actually reduce the quality. So instead, we could say, come, darling, let's leave it to the experts. We'll decrease the opinion with our wife. And we're actually going to gain stress because we're greedy and impatient. I guess I'm not really understanding why the greedy results in stress. I can kind of understand the impatient, I suppose. I don't know. You could be impatient with either one of them, honestly. But, yeah, I don't really get why the greedy results in stress. Well, since we have 2 traits, not 1, but 2 traits that go against it, I really feel like we can't go for that one. We're going to have to go with this one. And thus, there's a high chance that it's going to be a lower quality item, which is unfortunate. And actually, it went the other way for us. It actually is going to result in a higher quality item. Well, that was only a 44% chance, but it went in our favor, something that doesn't typically happen. So we need to move over here. I didn't realize that I'd have him doing that already. He was just standing here. So we need to help out in this battle, though it does look like we might have won it without the assistance of our men-at-arms. Yeah, we want to get involved there. Get that going. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this siege over here. Or, excuse me, with the crusade. And our acquaintance died. Was that the one? Yeah. So he was actually slain by our son, Kali. And basically he got revenge for the death of his brother. Well, that worked out better than I could have expected. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, he got revenge for his brother's death. And it was better than it would have been if I went and assassinated him. It's far better if it happened on the battlefield, considering the fact that that's how, you know, our son was killed. Yeah, I really like the results of that. And you know what? This young man is kind of becoming almost like a hero for me, despite the trusting and compassionate. He's greedy like us. He's an aspiring blade master, so he's stepping up that prowess skill. But yeah, like stuff like this would never happen if you didn't allow your sons to be knights. And so that's why I like doing it. Promise liberation. So he promised somebody liberation. Anyways, yeah, a perfect result of this, guys. I love it. Alright, so we're at 67% here. We're going to take a look at the battle here. And yeah, we actually took higher casualties since those were just our levies for a while there. But just taking a look at our knights here. You can see how many kills they got. Not many. They're too busy fighting each other, apparently. But yeah, just taking a look at the kills. And yeah, you can see, of course, Kali, he did kill Felipe, the slayer of our son. And the Sheik here also killed a knight. And our valiant soldiers slayed one of the knights as well. Alright, excellent. And we captured several knights. So we'll be able to ransom those characters off. Alright, beautiful. So I'm looking for this army here. Get them moving out of there. We're at 67%. Hopefully with that siege we'll be pretty close to being done. The siege is at 3 months right now. Yeah, I'd prefer not to have to wait until the siege of the capital is done. We should probably move over here because as you can see our men-at-arms are kind of needed to have some decent results in these battles. Not surprising, of course. He did form a new alliance. Oh, that's interesting. With Galicia. And that could result in him being pulled in the conflict. How many troops he's got? He's got 3,300. I'm not sure he'll be able to get involved soon enough to have any actual effect on the war, but something to pay attention to. He could be pulled in. All he's got to do is use that prestige. So a castle worthy of Iberia. So the lands of Emir Ibrahim, so this is our grandson, are ripe for development, states my steward Gilliam. With your funding, we could secure Soria against our enemies in weight at a greatly reduced cost. Wali Dalmu has petitioned for a Christian-style Kasbah to be built upon it, offering some of his own coin in an attempt at swaying your opinion. However, your other vassals demand that you stick to local Muwaladi architects. Regardless of who you pick, this will be a golden opportunity to strengthen the realm as a whole. The only issue being who will be chosen for this golden opportunity. Alright, so this will result in us losing 300 gold, starting the construction of a castle in San Leonardo. 95 gold will be refunded if construction is manually cancelled. Instead, we go to this option, that's the Christian architect. That will result in every powerful Muslim vassal losing opinion with us, while every powerful non-Muslim vassal will gain opinion. I don't think we have that many non-Muslim vassals. I'm not entirely sure, though. So you'd have to look at it through this way, which we got one right there as a sheik, and of course he's the one involved in the event, so that makes sense. But again, I don't think there's a lot of them. I suppose there's another one. Maybe there's more than I thought. And I think they just converted, though. Could be wrong on that front. There's a few, but not many, I think is the point here. So you're definitely going to get a bigger hit if you go with the Christian architect. But this does result in the religious understanding bonus in that particular sheikdom, the sheikdom of Soria, and that'll increase popular opinion. We'll lose 260 gold, so it's slightly cheaper because again he offers some of his own coin for this. Any other results here? Looks like no. Or we can say, I will not fund any castles, especially if they won't be mine and everybody loses opinion with us. I don't know, man. We're pretty greedy. I don't think we're going to fund any castles. You know, I almost want to go with one of these anyways, because, you know, and just kind of go against the trait in this particular instance. But again, it just feels like this is exactly what our character would say. I'm not funding anything that's not mine. Even if it is for my grandson. We're just too damn greedy. So we're just going to lose opinion with all three of them, because that's how we do things. So yeah, we're going to do that. Piss everybody off. Feel like you gotta sometimes take the hits when you got those traits, man. Just part of the role play. Alright, so this guy's actually going the opposite way now, so now we gotta try and play catch up here. He really wants to stop this siege. He knows what it is. If we win that siege, then there's a good chance that the war will be over. This siege here would take 4 months, because this is that army with the siege engines and the military engineer leading it. So yeah, he is gonna attack. We're gonna try and get over here to help out. We'll likely take high casualties again, not that that really matters. Well, we got there pretty quick. So that gets us up to 78%. This siege is almost done. Again, I expect this will be over soon. So just taking a look at the battle. And this time he actually lost all of his troops. I don't know if we had any knights do any killings over here. Looks like our giant brother-in-law was injured, though he's already healed. Apparently, maybe good treatment by our son, who's currently our physician. Alright, so let's go and pull this army out, guys. Just so they're not taxing the supply there. But again, I do expect that this is going to be over with this siege. And if it's not, then the siege of the capital will definitely be the end of it. We don't have any points from prisoners, right? Nope. So we'll just keep our prisoners for now. Until after we finish the war, and then we'll deal with them. Let's get this over. We're actually going to speed this up because yeah, we're just waiting for the sieges. Do we want to wait for this one? 45 days? Why not? I bet we capture some useful prisoners. We're obviously losing a lot of money paying for our army. So what we could do is go ahead and disband these troops here. I suppose that we can actually disband them on that territory since it's occupied. But yeah, we'll let them move over here and then we'll disband them. And we'll pay for less. 5 months before we can raise them again, but I think that's fine. That'll kind of help save some money. We'll keep these guys just in case they get pulled in. Obviously, there's not a lot of time for them to get over here. So the inspiration was realized, and we got this statue here, which will help reduce tyranny, and it will increase prestige. So this is lovely. So it wasn't a great item. Not surprised. But we can still make use of it. So let's go ahead and actually put that in place now. We also have a court event, which I would have missed if we hadn't popped in here. So we're looking to put the furniture in place. As far as like where we can put it, I think just these two locations. I suppose it makes more sense to have it there. Alright, so that'll give us some prestige and reduce tyranny if we ever find ourselves with any. Alright, so we're just waiting for this siege here. That'll be done here in mere days. And we did capture some valuable hostages. So what we'll want to do, and we seized an artifact. A very nice artifact. Look at that renown bonus and a much higher tyranny bonus. Very good court grandeur. That was excellent, actually. So I'm glad we decided to keep the siege going. And also, we just captured a ton of prisoners. And I assume, yeah, that those are giving us points that we don't need. So what we're going to want to do is actually go ahead and ransom those off now. I don't think she's considered important or anything. So we're fine with her. It's just going to be any of his children. Maybe a sibling. It really depends on if they're heir or not. So what we'll do is go ahead and ransom off this daughter of his first, and then we'll see if we still have any points. I doubt it. So we're actually not going to get anything here. Is he broke? He's always broke. This guy's always broke, man. Well, we could go and demand her conversion, I suppose. Yeah, I guess we could do that, but yeah, I don't think that's going to be that useful, honestly. We could just get the hook on him because he's broke. Yeah, we'll just get the hook on him. I don't know what we'd do with a hook on the king, but yeah, we'll do that. Since we're just going to return her anyways when the peace is made. So at least you're getting something here. And I don't think there's any more points. Oh, there actually is. So we do have another heir. I'm guessing that's his brother. I assume his brother is actually his heir because he doesn't have a son. Let me just take a look at that. No, his daughter is his heir. But, yeah, I'm guessing the brother still counted. Even though he's not set to inherit anything. Unless it's somebody else we have in the prison. I suppose that's a possibility. But yeah, I guess you can go and release him. And this time we'll want to do it for a conversion and get the hook on him. Yeah, we'll do that and see if that gets rid of it. Also, we got a court event. I did forget about that. So in the past few days, neighboring Mayor Constance has been visiting my court on her way to some holy site or something. Since her arrival, okay, so we've seen this event here a couple times now. And we're not going to be very generous, of course, because we're greedy. We could say that we'll take advantage of her silly generosity, which I think is what we did with the last time this happened for our greedy character. Or we could just kick her out. But I think it's probably more likely. And we could do that one too, to reduce our stress because we are greedy. That's available because we're greedy. But a greedy person might try and get that money. 50 gold, 56% chance of getting it. We do have stress to lose though, so why not just lose the stress by using the greedy option? So we'll go with that. And are we ready to end this war? I guess he hasn't responded to that prisoner option that we gave him. There we go. Alright, so let me see if that's it. That is. Okay, so that was his heir. So we can go and end the war now. Let's go and force our demands. And take those two counties over here. He'll have a little county right there, still attached to his territory, although not actually attached directly. And with these two territories, it looks like we did not directly get them. So they're still under this character here, who happens to be our prisoner. Now what's interesting here is that we cannot revoke his title because he actually has that protected in his contract. Oops. I want to take a look at the contract real quick. So he has high feudal taxes. I imagine that what he did is he granted the high feudal taxes to him in exchange for this. Though I'm not actually seeing that being protected. Maybe we have to wait a second because yeah, it looks like that's not even a right here. So what we might have to do is just let it play a little bit and let that update. But yeah, there's a few things we can do with him being in our prison. So there's actually another conflict going on over here. We have a conflict with this character here. Okay, so we're gonna need to make use of our army further. All right, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm glad I kept him around. So let's go and bring these guys up. Yeah, it looks like we got more war. And okay, so that's been invalidated. That's what I thought was going to happen here, because yeah, that's not even an option here. So that now should allow us to take his title if we wanted to. So we could probably revoke both of these here. It is an act of tyranny though, and we lose the cultural acceptance here. I was planning on giving that away though, so that's something to consider. I think we might just take the tyranny. I mean, he's a Christian and a past enemy, and I see no reason to allow him to keep this title. Who's this character set to inherit it? Let me just see who's all set to inherit his titles in the first place. He's got a long line of people to inherit. So I think we're just going to take the tyranny, because I feel like this is justified taking the title from him. He doesn't deserve any of these titles. We're just going to take this from him, guys. Take the hit there and take the 20 tyranny. But we could wait to do that until after we finish this conflict, I suppose. Yeah, we'll wait. There's time. Let's get this battle done here. So we got to chase this guy down. He's running. He don't want any of it, or he's going to go sit up in those hills and behind a river. Though it looks like we won't get the penalty there. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Is that because the river ends right there? Yeah, maybe the river ends just right at this location. And therefore, we're not going to get the river penalty. So we'll go and attack. Let's go and get the siege started as well. We're going to want to go and siege down this guy's capital over here. So yeah, is this one where we're defending? Yeah, we are defending. So this is just his claim over here. Alright. Kind of bummer we got to do this, but you know, we will get something from it. So we enforce our demands. We're going to get 110 gold, and we'll get 150 prestige, something we are always needing. So it's not a useless conflict. Probably not worth the effort, but the money we get won't pay for our troops, I don't think. But yeah, we did defeat him. That's already 50% on the war score. Excellent. So we're probably going to want to go over here to support our siege. We could go chase him down as well, but I don't think that's necessary. We got the 2 gold here from Snow, and I've noticed all of those feasts that we've been going to has made our character a little bit fatter. You can see it on his waist, I think. We did get that core artifact, which I did not put in place. I think that's over here. Yeah, we got to do that, guys. And I think this is clearly the one that should be replaced, despite the high prestige gain here. We looked at this one here. I really like that faith hostility advantage. So I think we're going to replace the Hide of the White Heart. Yeah, I think that's the best option here. Because you got to get this one in there. Increases the renown. And it just looks cool. I almost want to put it here in the middle, actually. You know, I think we're going to go ahead and switch those out. Because, yeah, that does look really cool. And I think it would be just better having it this way. It just looks better. So as far as which one I just removed, I'm not entirely sure. So I'll go through these. It's this one here. Alright. So I just think that looks a lot nicer. I like it. Alright, excellent. I'm glad we got that item. I'm glad we finished that siege. We didn't have to do that. So 7 months to finish this one up. So this is a large location, unfortunately. Alright, and you can't get any more war score from the battles either. So we could chase him down, I suppose, but there's not really going to be any effect there. We just got to wait until the siege is done, essentially. And these two can get married. That's Malik. Alright, so we'll send that proposal off. So his betrothed is old enough now. She just came of age. Remember, we still have these 2 sons here. Got to disinherit one of them and get the other one this title here once we take that. Alright, so just waiting for the siege to be done. And again, we'll probably have to chase down that army somewhere. I assume he's going to come over this way and attack us. And it looks like we are now transitioning into the compromise stage. So that does take time to transition, gives you a little bit of a warning. It's 4 months to get that done. So before the siege will be done, essentially. And there's that army. So we'll go ahead and stomp on over here and get them defeated, despite the fact we're not getting any war score. We don't want them to finish the siege. And you never know, we might capture somebody important. That's a real possibility. And we have a daughter-in-law. So this is Abu Bakr. Got it. Okay. So we can name her. And I almost want to name her Shakira, after the mother. I think we will. It's a nice name. And we once again got this strategical impasse. So as far as which one we would do, probably just improve pillaging. Kind of seems to fit with our character. The defense, maybe not so much because he's impatient. It looks like we got 2 different choices here. Oh, okay, that's the one that results in them both getting that. But also, the advantage of this is we're going with our son over the sheik, which makes sense, I think. We really like our sons. Even if we disinherit some of them, we really like them. And we got some increased holding taxes here. Excellent. And I did let this guy get past me. We had a chance to attack him there. So let's go ahead and see if we can't catch up to him. But I think this siege will likely be done before then. But I don't think that's going to give enough war score. I mean, well, it is his capital, so maybe. Yeah, there's a chance that might be enough. Alright, so it looks like we're going to do the battle over here in the mountains. We vastly outnumber him, so yeah, we should be able to defeat him. But again, it's not really all that important. And we did capture a valuable hostage there. Suppose we'll let the battle finish up since we might capture somebody else. And the phase has transitioned into compromise. We also finished the construction of the vegetable gardens. So lots of things just happened here. Alright, well, let's go and get something else started. We'll probably do this one. Yeah, let's go and get that started. And I suppose since the battle's almost over, we'll let it finish up here. You never know, might capture somebody. Yeah, we got somebody. And then we can, ransom them off. Alright, so let's go into enforce our demands. Disband our armies. And see what we have here, just that we can do the ransoms, which I suppose we'll want to go ahead and do. Actually, we might do that next episode. Though I do want to do this character here now, since we talked about it, and I don't want to forget what I intended to do. So let's go and take those titles now. Get the tyranny. Lose the cultural acceptance. That's okay. That's not of the culture we've been trying forever to try and create the hybrid culture with. So this here, of course, is going to be going to our son. So yeah, we're going to want to grant that out to either Malik or his younger brother, Yusuf. Now, Yusuf is only 7 years old, so he's got a ways before he's going to be ready. And I feel like Malik is a pretty decent character. So I almost just want to go with him. I am interested to see what happens with Yusuf over here, but he might just be the one that gets disinherited just because he's the youngest. There's just no room for him, no titles for him, unfortunately. Though he is, of course, named after ourselves, so there is that. But yeah, I think we're going to give the title to Malik. He's 18, he's married, he needs a place of his own, guys. He is one of our knights, but he's not like a great knight or anything. So let's go ahead and grant him these titles here. We're going to grant him the entire duchy, of course. And he's going to love us for it, and that should appease his inheritance. Yeah, there we go. So no more issues there with his inheritance, and essentially it's just our youngest right now that's set to inherit, the huge duchy that we don't want him to get. I almost want to destroy that duchy because there's just so much to it. It's always going to be a problem, and we just don't want anybody inheriting it. So destroying it would fix that problem. But yeah, I think we'll either do that or just, eventually you got to disinherit him anyways, because then he'll just inherit a ton of counties, and those will be dotted all over the place. You don't really know which ones those will be. But yeah, we've essentially appeased all of our sons except for the youngest at this point, so almost secured the inheritance. We can go and negotiate that alliance with them. So next episode, guys, we've got to deal with our prisoners. We have 7 people in our prisons, so we got to deal with all those. Now, this character here, of course, the one we just disinherited, just took all his titles, I should say. We could still, ransom him off. Maybe not that way. Yeah, could still just release him. Could keep him in prison, I suppose, like move him over to house arrest. Could demand his conversion. Gain the weak hook. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do with him. He's always going to be a problem for us because he's going to hate us for taking his titles. So that's something to consider. But yeah, we got to deal with our prisoners. And the other thing I'd like to take a look at, if I remember to do so, is the compromise phrase. Exactly what all it does here. I'll kind of hover over it so you guys can see. We'll take a look at it and discuss those effects next episode, as long as I remember. With my current recording schedule, I might forget. And good God, it's really hot in here as well. My air conditioning just broke today. It's not working. Perfect timing, because I got a bunch of people coming to look at the house here over the next few days, because we just decided to do a price drop this weekend. So we're going to drop the price down a little bit, try and get some better offers. Not as low as everybody's been offering, but a little bit lower. But yeah, we've got some people coming, and I expect we're going to get a lot more people wanting to come look at the house once we do the price drop. So I really need to get this air conditioning fixed, because good God, this is like uncomfortably hot in here. I've like been sweating my butt off for this whole video, because yeah, it's very, very hot. It's like 1 in the morning right now, and yet it's like 80 something degrees here in the house. It's not anywhere near that hot outside. It's actually quite nice outside. We might need to open some windows to get some air in here. We couldn't do that while I was recording. But yeah, it's ridiculously hot in the house right now because of the heat over the day and not having a working air conditioning. So yeah, I've been suffering in here. So yeah, I might forget what all I was doing. Hopefully I remember, and hopefully get that AC fixed soon as well. But that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you guys on the next one, which remember will not be until Saturday. The next episode will be on Saturday. So I'll see you then, and thanks for watching.